Hello everyone, I'd like to welcome you on our second tutorial with Style3d software. My name is Angelica Chilikova from Cn8 Digital Fashion. Below the video you will find the link for the website. You can download the software and you get 3 months free trial. As also there is a lot of competitions happening, so I would advise you to follow their Instagram page, the links which you can find also below at the comments. And yeah, win extra free time. For today's tutorial, I would like us to make this dress shirt in crepe print that we will use. The textile is from the library of the Style3d. We're going to use basic block that the software is providing and customize it and create this beautiful shirt and dress, and also set up the creative rendering. I'm opening the software, go to the library, female, load my avatar. You go to the property editor where you can customize your avatar. When you just start the program, you won't have all these selections, so you will have to go to the resource library. When you are on the avatar section, you can see you have emotion, faces, gestures, hair, so you can just click on the little cloud and you will get a big selection of anything related with the avatar, from hair, shoes, poses, male, female, kids. So when you do so, you click at the little box and you download. I already downloaded this one, and you download it to your library. So I already created my, same you do for the fabrics and trims, and you have the option also of the garments. So I already have my library, and I would like to change my model to okay, Martina, Crystal was the one I used for this tutorial. I like to change her hair as well, so I go here, and this was the style I used. So now when I go to the garments, I like to start with the basic shirt. Let's load the basic shirt. Beautiful. Let me freeze and change the pose. I want it to be I. When I want to change the pose, I press stimulate, and at the moment when it's on stimulation, I press my my selective pose. I'm waiting for the avatar to take the ideal pose. When it's done, I click stop my stimulation, and now I will place the fit of the shirt, unfreeze, straighten. You can use shortcuts as well and then stimulate as well. That's it. So let's, for this style, I won't need my top color, so I'm taking it off. I will work first with one sleeve at the beginning, and then I will copy paste it, so I delete the sleeve. I also won't need the cuff. Delete. So let's import my picture so I can actually follow import sketch. I will import this, size it, place it on the side, just so I have a reference. Firstly, I would like to put my avatar on a pose. It will be easier. Nice. Now let's work on my sleeve. Add point, right click, and I select approximately. I want it to be 23, maybe, yes, 23 centimeters. Okay, and I will do the same here, 23, just to create my cuts for the frills. Then I'm selecting the pen, and I draw, approximately click at my point, double click. Now cut. I select this panel, and I'm not going to need it. Then I select this and this side, and I add internal line approximately 5 centimeters. 5 is good. Yeah, 5. Okay. Maybe gonna make some slightly difference here in the center. Shift, press shift so it's go parallel, and slightly here, just to make a little. And now selecting both of the lines, cut and sew. Let's create my frill. I'm selecting the rectangle. While I'm drawing the rectangle, right click and I add the distance of the width and the height. I will go for 175 and I would like this to be 28. Okay, this is my rectangle. I will get the edit curvature. Let me see how point to point I will measure the distance. It's 17. I would like a little bit more. I am grabbing this point, shift, right click, approximately 4, maybe 5 centimeters will be best. And I do the same here, 5, enter. So now my frill is ready. Let's go and stitch it. Oops. I will add it to the first, to the hem. Let me move a little bit the picture. Yeah, but I don't want it to be curved, I want it to be flat. Just make the placement and maybe straighten as well and shift. Nice. So this is my first frill. Now I can stitch my sides. Shift. Now I copy, paste. I will use the same frill for the top part. Beautiful. And I'm actually gonna place it like that, somewhere here. So let's stitch it. Here. Oops. And here. Now just to make sure it doesn't collapse, I will add it as a first layer. And shift, stimulate. Not shift, sorry, spacebar. My sleeve is ready from one side. So let's make symmetric pattern with seam. Here we go. And I'll do the same with my frills with seam. Shift. So I will not need those guards, okay? So let's get rid of them. Delete the sewing and we delete those. Select this point, delete this point, and this point, delete. I also won't need those darts, so I delete my sewing and I delete my darts. Merge those points. Let's make it straight. Right click, remove link editing, because I will have an asymmetric cuts, so I will need so let's work on my length. I will go for maybe approximately 47. Now I'm just going with my approximately, and here maybe I do okay. The ideal is we select all and we do clone as a reference line, so you know where is your start, where is your end when you work on your pattern. Maybe I go somewhere here. Now what I like to do is create a little curve, just so I don't have so big points on my corners here. I'm gonna bring that order, take order top. Okay, I will flip and add the notch. And from here I don't want this to be symmetrical anymore. I'm gonna select this axis and cancel it. I'm also gonna take off this delete this point, and let's make the placement is to add the point, and I will also need to add a point here. So now I'm ready to move that panel here. I'm gonna move that here and move that here. I'm gonna need to add a little point here and a little bit play with my curves. And a little bit play with my curves. And when I do so, I'm maybe just gonna go and do convert to curve point. And when I've done this, let's flip it back again. This is going that way, this is going that way. Now I like to make my first cut. Maybe 8 centimeters. Yes, and let's do the same here. Internal line 8. Okay, and here we go internal line 8. Okay, cut and sew. Cut and sew. Cut and sew. Now here I see my frill is going all the way to the end, so I will make internal line, okay, and internal line, okay, cut and sew, and I will merge these two panels, merge, and I will merge these two panels, merge. So now I have, next thing I would like to do is basically curve underneath this point, convert to curve, and here maybe I can add a notch. I will need that notch. So let's Control S, save what we've done so far. Stimulate. Oops, we done something wrong. One thing, Control Z. Check when you cut and slicing pieces, you have to check after your seams what's happened with your seams, okay? Because you see here we have this overlapping, this is coming from somewhere here, this is going somewhere else. So let's delete all that and make sure, okay, let's check. So now this seam has to go here. Here we are, right, okay, here we have a little something happening, okay, nice. Let's stimulate now. All right, a little bit, shift, one side only, shift, maybe 2 centimeters, okay, and here shift maybe 2 centimeters, okay. I'll do the same from that side, maybe 2 centimeters, enter, and 2 centimeters, enter. And let's see, hide 3D pattern. I think I like it to be slightly wider at the bottom. Let's get shift, press shift, 2 centimeters, and also this one, let's move it 2 centimeters, 2 centimeters, and let's go 2 centimeters. Stimulate. So let's make our frills now. Rectangle, and I will go 124 and width 22. Okay. I want this to be my front hem frill, and here I will go. Now this is, I'm going approximately, okay, as I would imagine I want like it to be, and I will test it and I will see if that's going to be what I want. All right. Now another rectangle, again 125 and 22. Okay, and here we go, and this is going to be my other side, which will be slightly, maybe I'll get a bit of oops. So now this is coming. Okay, one thing I did it, I just noticed it, I did it on the other side, which is right, which is gonna make it flip, basically, and here flip. Let's make it here. Flip. All right, let's play it that way. All right, straighten. This is now my first frill. And let's do the same for the back. So let's select both of the panels, copy and mirror paste. All right, I will merge my center back, merge. I will possibly delete that point and make a new curve. So this is going to be, and also maybe delete this point. And let's sew my hem at the back. Stimulate. Nice. Let's stitch my side seams. Wonderful. Maybe I need to take slightly shorter my hem, just a little bit. I think it's just getting into the floor. I like to take it up, maybe 5 centimeters. Yeah, 5 centimeters. I'm going to do the same here. 5. That's it. I think that's good. Let's make my top frill. Okay, let's make the second frill. Copy, right click, saving the project, right click, paste. All right. All the way down. Now, these frills, I select them and place them as layer 1. Applied. Nice. Stimulate. I do the same here, copy, right click, paste. Come here. All right. And I stitch this and this and this and this. My side seams. I also need to make this layer 1. Enter. Okay. And stimulate. Alright. So let's make the top frill slightly shorter. Yeah. 2.5 enter. It's a bit too much, and here going up 2.5 enter, and the back will do the same, and going up 2.5 enter. Okay, so now let's make my sleeves visible. Next thing, I like to fuse, to add fuse bond my color and generate lining inside. Okay, double up. Same here, the placket bond and generate lining inside. Next thing, I like to add seam tape on my shoulders and my armhole, just to pull a little bit my seam taping. 1 centimeters will be enough, and when I stimulate, you will see now it will all get a better shape and hold nicer my seams. Now it's the time to add my texture, my fabric, my print. So I'm going to the library, and I have already downloaded the fabric I will be using, silk rayon elastic fine, but you can find big selection of prints. When you are on the fabrics, you press the little cloud and you go to the library where you can find huge selection of fabrics and prints, and when you find things that you like, you just click and download, and that way you will create your own library to use. At the moment I'm going to use this print. This is the one I used. I select, right click, assign to pattern. So now here right click and delete all unused fabrics. Next thing, I want to unstraighten, and here is my print. I think the size is pretty good. You can scale it. I remember I did scale it on this one. You can also, the other thing you can do, assets, edit texture. If you want to make a placement of the print in certain specific way where you want it to be, maybe we can scale it slightly, somewhere here. Just so you can make the placement how you want it to be approximately. All right. So now, next thing, I think the size is okay. Next thing I like to do is to make my hem. I'm going to the seams, top stitch, select property editor, top stitch library, and I would like to use, top stitch library. I want to use this one. My color will be slightly grayish. Maybe I can go a little bit darker. Okay. I will have to make sure that offset is 0 because I want it to be exactly on my lines. And now segment top stitch, I'm selecting the lines I want to have my seam. Also, I want to add a slightly the width. Yeah, just a little bit. And now let's make my hem everywhere. Maybe front as well here. But maybe we're gonna need to have the front as well. And that's it. So this is done. Home. You see how nice my frills look like. Let's change the shoes. I would like to use this, which one was it? This pair. And I would like to make them leather. Oh, this is the one. Okay. So shoes are here. Next thing I would like to add is the belt. Also the buttons. Let's actually I do want my buttons to be slightly bigger, please. And change the color. So here we have button library 0.5. That's better. And let's make the color okay. And the thread is the same color. Now we need to change the buttonholes. My buttonhole got to be the same gray color. Okay, and the width will be 1.8 now, just slightly bigger than my button. So here we go, we're done. Home. Now let's add the belt. Firstly, I will add shift, just a line at the moment. Make sure it's on the same height. Now, this is my notch here. I'm gonna add shift or straight line. So now I select this line and I will put slightly less. That's just for the fit, okay? Okay, maybe a little bit more. We stop here. Now I will create my belt. Oops, right click, and it will be 70, let's say, and 2.5, enter. Here we go. I like it to be leather, so let's assign to pattern, layer 1, because we want it to be on top. Then selecting the fabric leather, change the color to, just a second, I want it to be similar with the shoes. So let's change the color, and let's one from here. Looks like it. Here. Okay, now let's make the placement. We put the arrangement points, and then we click, and this is going inside like that, and we stitch and stimulate. Let's straighten. Next thing, generate lining inside, straighten all, and make my pose. Let's select the pose. I would like to see, when I finish with my pose, maybe I add some puckering on my frills, but I'll see that later. When I do the pose, I will fix my belt as well and everything. So now, avatar, female, pose. Let's try this one. Same date. Actually, that's quite pretty pose. I haven't used it, but I like it for this dress. It's beautiful. Unstraighten and solidify. Let's add some puckering now. Solidify. Puckering here. Polyester. Make my belt invisible so I can see what I'm doing. Hide. So now I'm going back to my puckering, and I want to check what is happening here. What is the results of my puckering? Density. Okay. Width 15. Oh, that's too much. Okay, 5. Yes, and also select those lines and make them both sides. So you have up and down my puckering, edit puckering style. Bring my belt back. Show 3D pattern. That's it. Let's add my bag. In the library, we go to, this is the bag I used, so load. Now here we go, add, and taking over the scene, and we adding this bag. Select, put on the side. Select, put on the side. So we delete all these little we need this, we need this. Now we take this, add it here. We can scale it. I'm thinking maybe on this case we needed to make it a little bit smaller, because my position, the position of my frills is different, so I don't want to. We have a different pose there, and it was easier, but now I think I will make it slightly smaller, so then it's not bothering me with my frills. I think I'll have to put it that side in the end. It doesn't look, because I have the frills there, and I don't really like what it does in the end with my frills. So that's it. I think I got it. I think I got it. The only thing I like to do is, let me find this one strap that is important to me. Where is that? That's the bottom. So this is the one. This is freeze, and the rest, let's freeze the dress as well, so it's not moving anywhere. And now this particular strap I will unfreeze. Out. I will straighten, and now, so let's select that and slightly move that way, and then pin on that side and on that side. And now quick stimulate, just a quick one. My computer is a little bit slow, but it needs just a fast. That's it, you see, that's it. So, and I stop here. I'm done. My bag is perfectly fit. I'm gonna, you can leave the pins as well if you're gonna do animation, delete all selected pins, but for time being we have only not selected. Even those ones I need to delete all the pins. Delete selected pins, or delete all the pins if you want to delete them all. So my bag is placed. Perfect. Let's unfreeze. And unsolidify, solidify, and unsolidify dress. And also, let's see, let's straighten it, and straighten. So now I would like to change a little bit my color of the bag, and I will make it gray. Let me see what I had. No, I made it light gray, so let's put it light gray, and slightly somewhere here. Yeah, that's a nice one. And then let's go to the straps and change that color. The texture is only black, will be leather, but let's change the color. And maybe just go here. Okay. So now I select all my layers, all my pieces, and I make them layer 0 or 1 layer. Now I like to change maybe a little bit the color of my belt. Let me save that. This color, I want to add it to my library. Okay, and then when I have this color, I'm maybe just gonna make it the same. So we have more. That's it, guys. So now we are ready to do our rendering. Let's load our scene. When you start first time to load the scene, you will open. Sometimes, as you can see, the scene is basically going through my avatar, so I do not need that. When you see that, you have to just play a little bit with the axis, depends the position. Here I already approximately estimate that I have to go -1, so then I will be just great. And you see now I have my distance between. Now we go tools, offline rendering. The thing is, when you use those ready scenes, they have already the frame set up for a square. You can always change that. Property editor, we select the render image property, and we go to the property editor and I set my desirable frame. You can, depends what is the use, you can always set yours. Tutorial 2. Okay, I have saved another one previously. Keep the noise at the 0.0010 and I would like it to be high quality. Now I will sync. So now I'm just gonna pick the pose I like to have. Maybe we can go here. Maybe, oops. Make sure your shoes are not sinking inside, like right now here. Stop. And sync again. So these scenes are coming already with the light already set. If you do want to make changes or use a different lighting, you go to light property and you change it here at the property editor. At the moment, I'm happy with this lighting. I think it's great and showing beautifully the walls and my dress. Maybe I just go slightly more. I think that's great. I would advise lock the view when you have already set your frame, just in case so by accident you don't press anything to change your pose while it's rendering. What I noticed, and I stopped my rendering, is that the back side of the fabric is exactly the same with the front, and I'm missing a little bit the realistic shading on my frills. When I go to the fabric, I have the front, the back, and the side. At the front, it will have some shading. So what I like to do is to basically add a little darker. Let's see what's happening now. Let's see. So now I go to my final rendering and I'm waiting to see the results. So our rendering is over. Let's open the picture and see what we've done. That's it. This is our final picture. Beautiful. I like the lighting as well. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I'm looking forward to see your work. Please tag Style3d and Cn8 Digital Fashion. I will be happy to see what you've done after this second tutorial.